Getting set for a 7th grade girls consolation matchup between the OSP Widman team and the Ohio Impact. The ball is up in the air and it is tipped and it's controlled by the Impact. And that is number 13, Kate, with it. Kate's got it. Kate's got it for the Impact, and she is guarded there by number 0, Selena. And it's stolen by Selena. Selena's going to push it to the other end. Selena on the drive. Selena is going to pull up, and she's going to get fouled. And nope, they're not going to say she got fouled. They're going to say that she walked with it. And so it goes back to Ohio Impact here. Early on, it's Jeremy Scott, and it's Kayla Cazell. Jeremy here on commentary. Kayla manning the camera. And that is Avery at the elbow. And almost stolen away, but Impact able to get it back. Izzy has it, and that is Avery. Over to Kate. Kate with a shot from the elbow. That's up, that's no good, and that's taken by number 10, Maya. And that's taken back by the Impact. So good job by Kiana to get that, and there's a scramble for that loose ball. Take it to the other end, that's Selena. Selena inside, that's intercepted. Intercepted there by Kate. Kate's got it for the Impact. Kate over to Avery. Avery on the left wing, back up top to Kate. Over to the right, and Izzy underneath, and that was Kiana who got fouled in the low post. And that was a foul on number 34, Laney, and that's the team's first for the Widman, OSP Widman. Inbounds it comes, and up top, it's Taylor. Over to Kiana. Outside to Avery. That's a three-point shot, and that's no good, but Avery was fouled on that three-point shot. And that's a foul on number 5, Abigail, and that will be the team's second. So Avery is going to step up to the line, and she is going to shoot 3 free throws. First shot, good. So the Impact draw first blood, and it's 1-0. Second shot, rims out. Avery with her practice dribbles, going through her ritual at the foul line. Puts it up. And that's short, and there's a scramble for that loose ball. Avery is involved in that scramble. Tie up. And it's going to go back to the Widman. So Avery 1 for 3, that trip to the line, and it is a 1-0 ball game. Ohio Impact with the early lead. That's Selena. Over it comes to Gretchen. Gretchen is going to be called for a walk. They're going to say she picked up her dribble, and then decided to start again. And that's going to come back to the Impact, so it's Impact ball. Minute and a half gone by here. It's 7th grade girls consolation, GBA. Celtic Classic here. And that's Izzy who has it. She gives it off to Avery. Avery underneath, and then that's stolen away. Good steal there by Abigail, good defensive play. And that foul will be on Kiana. That's Ohio Impact's first team foul. And Selena brings the ball very quickly down the court. She's going to take it herself and then lose it. So she had a full head of steam, just wasn't quite able to keep the speed of the dribble. And there's a quick shot by Avery. That's up, that's no good. That's rebounded by Kiana. Kiana back up and no good. And there's a scramble for that loose ball, and it's taken by Widman. So the Widmen win that little tussle for that loose ball. There is a quick shot. That's up and good. And that is a 2-point bucket. That's a 2-point bucket for Gretchen. And that makes it Widman 2, Ohio Impact 1. Back on the other end, that's Kate. Gives it outside to Avery. Into the corner. That's a shot, and that's no good. And that's rebounded there by Gretchen. So Gretchen's got it for OSP Widman. Inside. Into the low post, that goes. That's up, that's no good, and that's rebounded by Avery. Avery's got it for the Impact. Avery almost bumped there, but they're going to say no foul. They'll let him play on. over to Kate. In the left corner, back to Avery. Back up top to Kate. Well, that's who she was looking for, but they're going to throw it ahead off the steal. And it's going to be the Impact who end up with it. Kate's got it, and there's an outlet pass. Nice pass down court, up and fouled. That's Taylor. She got fouled on Widman's third personal foul, well, third team foul, I should say. And so Taylor will step to the line with an opportunity to put Ohio Impact back on top or at least tie the game. It is 2-1 Widman as we speak. First shot, no good. And checking into the ball game for Widman is number 30. Number 30 is Peyton. As Taylor steps back to the line for the Impact. And that ball rims in there. And so it is a tie ball game, 2-2 here in the early going. Back down the court for OSP Widman. That's Selena. Up top to Maya. Maya driving. Maya's going to back it out. Looking for somebody to pass to, looking for a cutter. And she finds Gretchen. Gretchen, that's stolen away by the Impact, but as soon as Taylor got a hold of that ball, she stepped on that boundary line, and it's going to come back to OSP Widman. So Widman to inbound it. And it's over the head of everybody, and it's going to come this way and out of bounds, and it will be coming back, I do believe, to Ohio Impact. Checking into the ball game for Widman is Olivia, and sitting will be Maya. And that's Jackson bringing the ball up the floor for Ohio Impact. She's one of the ones who just checked into the ball game. She passes it over to Kenzie. Back up top to Jackson. Jackson pivoting, passing. Another pass to the elbow. Cross-court pass, that's a quick shot, that's up, and that is no good. Rebounded underneath, up, and no good, but do believe Taylor is going to get a chance to go back to the foul line where she went 1 for 2 just a short time ago. She's going to get 2 more opportunities. That was the 4th team foul on OSP Widman. As Taylor sinks the first foul shot. Doesn't take a whole lot of time on that one. Taylor's second shot, nothing but the bottom of the net. So 3 for 4 already for Taylor. That's a good 75% free throw shooting effort, and it's 4-2 in favor of the Impact. Selena, no good. Rebounded by Allie. Impact bringing the ball back down the floor. That's a shot, and that's a foul. Foul on OSP Widman. That's their 5th team foul, and it's going to be Jackson stepping to the line because she was fouled in the act of shooting. Jackson. That shot is up, and it's no good. So far, all 4 Ohio Impact points have come from free throws. Second shot for Jackson. Rims out, no good. So Jackson 0 for 2 that trip to the line. Selena on the other end for Widman. There's a shot. That's an air ball. It's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to come back to Ohio Impact with the score of 4-2. There's a timeout on the floor, and 9:28 to go. And we'll be back right here on GBA TV. Back to the action here. Court number 1, Dublin Jerome High School. This is 7th grade girls consolation game. Ohio Impact on offense, they do have the lead. There's a quick shot. That is up and good. And that's a 2-point shot for Kate. And it's 6-2, Ohio Impact. On to the right side. There's a shot. That is up, and that is good. So good job there by Peyton for OSP Widman to answer. And it's 6-4. On the other end, it's stolen away. That is a steal by Peyton. Peyton driving it the length of the floor, putting it up, laying it in there. It's a tie ball game, 6-6. OSP Widman just tied it up with Ohio Impact. Kenzie passing it over to Jackson. There's another interception. And that was a loose ball. And that's Impact on offense. Pass it to the corner, 3-point attempt, long. And it's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to come back to OSP Widman. I'll tell you, Kate had a good look at it, but I think she may have rushed that shot just slightly. And it will be OSP Widman's ball. Over on the right side. There's a shot. That's up, and that is good. OSP Widman with that shot by Peyton. Peyton's accounted for 6 of the 8 OSP Widman points, and it's 8-6 Widman. And there's a dribble off the foot of the dribbler, Kenzie, and there's a tie-up. And the possession arrow favors the Ohio Impact. And checking into the ball game for OSP Widman, that is Mia. And it's hard to tell who's who here because the numbers are only on the backs of the jerseys, so you're going to have to bear with me whenever something happens. I'm going to have to see the back of the jersey before I can give you a proper description of who the player is. On the other end. That's a drive on the baseline. That's up and no good. Boy, I tell you what, that was a really nice looking move there by Jackson for Ohio Impact. And that's out of bounds off of OSP Widman. So it still Impact's ball. Inbounds it comes. That's a 3-point shot. That's up and that's no good. Chasing it down. That is Widman. Widman pushing it to the other end, putting it up and missing on the layup. That was number 6, Reese, with a nice look at it, but Reese wasn't able to put it in. And so it's going to be Impact's ball. There's a scrum for a loose ball. And let's see what happens here. There's another tie-up. I do believe that's going to favor Widman. And so the possession arrow will favor OSP Widman. Inbounds it comes, and it's poked away. Poked away by Impact. They're on the other end now. That's a very rush shot that almost falls for the shooter, Avery. And Widman on offense once again. Pushing it to the other end. Underneath it comes. And there's a tie-up. I think this one will favor Impact. A lot of jump balls here in the early going with 7:05 to go here in this first half. Bringing the ball up the floor, that is Jackson. Jackson playing the point. Over it comes to Izzy. Into the corner and Allie. Allie passing it to Jackson. She passes it up. That's a 3-point shot. That is up, that is missed, and that is rebounded by the Impact. And then it's OSP who ends up with it. So Widman pushing it to the other end. And that is Lauren. And that's a foul on Avery. That's the team's second foul. So OSP Widman will inbound it. Driving it baseline and then passing it underneath, low post. Nope, they're going to say that that player traveled for OSP Widman. That was number 6, Reese. And so Widman gives it back to Ohio Impact. Widman up by 2. It's 8-6 here in the first half of the 7th grade girls consolation game at the Celtic Classic. Back into the game is Kiana for Ohio Impact. Kiana loses control of it, and that's taken by Mia, and Widman's got it back. Widman with a foul. That's going to be a foul on Avery. That's her second. That'll be Reese to play the point for Widman. Reese, inside it goes. That's a quick shot. That's up. That's no good. And it's rebounded by Reese. Reese back up and no good. And there's a scramble for a loose ball. And that'll be off of impact. So it remains at this end. Checking into the ball game for OSP Widman is Abigail. And you know what? There's a timeout on the floor, so it doesn't matter. There will be a timeout. We'll be back in 30 right here on GBA TV.
This is Tom Strasser from GBA TV Studios at the 14th Annual Celtic Classic here at Dublin Jerome. And you're watching GBA TV on Facebook and YouTube, where you are watching over 20 hours of live streaming games as well as interviews from players and coaches here at the Celtic Classic.
Back to game action here. Inbounds it comes. That's OSP Widman. It's Lauren with the ball. Cross-court pass. That's over to Abigail. Abigail pivoting. She passes over to Mia. Mia over to Lauren. Lauren spins, passes. Back to Lauren. And that's another Lauren. There are two Laurens on this team. That's to Mia who puts it up, and that's no good. Boy, she had a good look at that one. There's a tie-up. And it stays on this end, so OSP Widman gets to keep it. Inbounds it comes to Lauren. Lauren over to Reese. Reese at the foul line, up good. So that possession ends up fruitful for Widman, and it's now a 10-6 ball game. There's a shot, that's up, and that's a bank shot for two. And that is good for Ohio Impact. That is Allie on that bank shot, her first two of the game. So it's a 10-8 game. There's a shot, that's a bank shot, that's no good, and that's taken by Kiana. There's kind of a scramble for that between two teammates, but it's Impact who ends up with it. Jackson. That's a shot, that's up, no good. And taken there and then almost stolen away. It is stolen away, as a matter of fact, by Taylor. She gives it back to Kiana. Kiana down low, and Kiana gets fouled. And are they going to say that she was in the act of shooting? That foul on Mia, number 45 for Widman. That's Widman's sixth foul, and they are going to say that Kiana was in the act of shooting. So Kiana at the line. First shot, good. Widman 10. Impact 9. Kiana's second shot is going to be a little bit short, but it's rebounded there by the Impact, and then it's knocked out of bounds, and it remains Impact's ball. A couple of subs checking in here for Ohio Impact, numbers 12 and 13. That's Kenzie and Kate, respectively. And sitting will be Allie for Ohio Impact, and we resume game action here. There's a quick shot on the other end. That's an air ball. That's going to go out of bounds, and it's going to go back to OSP Widman, who lead it by 1. And we've got under 5 minutes to go. As a matter of fact, we're at about 4.5 to go here in the first half. And there's a steal, stolen by Taylor. There's a drive to the hoop, up, no good. Taylor on the rebound, and she tries to pass it over a teammate's head, and that teammate is able to catch up with it. That's Jackson before it goes out of bounds. Cross-court pass. Inside it goes to Kiana underneath, up and good. Kiana 4-2 puts Ohio Impact back up by 1. It's 11-10. Selena having it stolen away. That's Jackson on the steal. Jackson, it's a one-on-one situation on this fast break, and they're going to say that Jackson was fouled, and that's the 7th team foul by OSP Widman, so it will be Jackson heading to the line, I do believe, for a 1-and-1. Yep, it will be Jackson for the 1-and-1. Jackson. Front end of this 1-and-1. No good. Rebounded by Jackson. Into the low post. That's a shot. That's up. That's no good. And that's rebounded on another offensive rebound on the offensive side of things. That's Kate. Over to Kenzie. Kenzie. Back up top to Kate. Kate. Pass it off to Kiana. Kiana. And there's a pass that's through the legs of the intended receiver. She's able to save it from going out of bounds, and then she has it knocked out of bounds. And they're going to say that she touched it last. So that was Taylor who touched it last. And so back on the other end. That's a shot. That's up. That's no good. And it's a jump ball. And it favors Ohio Impact. So good job there by Ohio Impact to hustle up and tie up that loose ball. Make it a jump ball. It's Impact 11, Widman 10. There's a shot on the other end. That's up, and that is missed. And it's going to come back to Widman. There's a shot that's partially blocked. Nice job there by Taylor to get a hand on that one. And they're going to say it's out of bounds and off of Widman, and it will be Impact's ball again. A lot of changes in possession in this one. That's Kate. Playing the point, guarded by Selena. Up at the foul line. There's a shot. That is up, and over the backboard it goes on that shot by Jackson. With 2:34 to go in this opening half. And there's a substitution confusion. All right, everything's sorted out, and we resume our action. Playing the point is Peyton. Peyton, who's got 6 of those 10 Widman points. Peyton trying to set up a screen there. Instead passes it off to Selena. Selena. Back it comes, and that's a shot by Abigail. Up and good for 2. And it's Widman back on top, 12-11. And we are at 2 minutes to play in this first half. Quick half it's been, and there's an air ball, and that's going to go out of bounds and back to Widman. And that was Taylor with that shot. Good one here, the 7th grade girls consolation game, 12-11. We're at exactly 2 minutes to go here in this first half. Jeremy Scott at the commentary table. Kayla Cazell on camera. Pass over to Maya, who's checked back into the ballgame for OSP Widman. They're going to say that Maya traveled. So it's back to the Impact. Kate to play the point. Over comes to Kenzie. Kenzie back to Kate. To the foul line. That's Taylor. Taylor drives it, passes it. There's a shot up, no good. Underneath. Somebody hits the deck pretty hard. And it's out of bounds, and it's out of bounds off of OSP. And so Ohio Impact gets it back. Selena had it, but I think that she stepped on that end line over there. There's a three-point shot that's up and almost went in for the shooter, but no good. Offensive rebound up, no good. And there's a defensive board. Maya on that offensive rebound, or the defensive rebound, excuse me, and there's a whistle. And there's a foul on Kate. That is the 4th team foul on Ohio Impact. And that foul on Kate. Underneath to Maya. Maya in the low post, passing it outside. On the drive, and losing it on the drive. That was Peyton. And she never had a full control of that. And so, back it comes. We're under a minute to go to the Impact. And at the foul line, over it comes. There's a shot. That's up. That's no good. And it's rebounded by the shooter. That shooter, Kenzie. Kenzie to Kate. Kate at the top. Over to Taylor. Driving, and there's going to be a travel. That's going to be travel on Jackson. A little bit of paralysis by analysis. She wasn't sure if she wanted to pass it or shoot it. And so, unfortunately for her, that ended up a travel. And back it comes to Widman. And a timeout is called by the Widman sideline with 38 seconds to go in this first half. Very good game here, and we'll be back with it right here on GBA TV. So, with 38 seconds to go, it will be OSP Widman with the ball and the lead by 1. That is Reese playing the point, guarded by Kenzie. Reese with a pass, and there's a 3-second violation, and that's going to be on OSP Widman. And so, 25 seconds and winding on this first half clock. Ohio Impact with a chance to take the lead before the half. Inside, nice looking pass, up and no good. That's Keon on that shot. That shot is up and that is good. And that's Kenzie's first bucket of the game. On the other end, there's a shot. It's Impact's ball. Following the shot, that is Kate. And so OSP Widman with it, and out of bounds it goes. We're at 2 seconds to go here in this first half, and Ohio Impact is back up to a 13-12 lead. Inbounding it will be Kenzie. And there's a quick shot, and that is blocked, and that will be how this first half ends. Well, let's see what happens here. And they're going to work out something here with the scoreboard operator. Yep, that will do it for the first half. So 13-12 is how that first half ends. A very good one, so we should be in for a good second half right here on GBA TV, and we will be back with it in just a moment. So we resume game action here. It's the second half. It's the Ohio Impact 13, OSP Widman 12. Jeremy Scott with you here at the commentary table. Kayla Cazell on camera. Of course, big ups to Tom Strasser, Caleb Graham, and Jeff Ferguson making it happen on the administrative end as there's a travel by OSP Widman. So it's coming back to Ohio Impact. And again, that paralysis by analysis kind of taking a toll on Gretchen. Avery on the right wing. Gives it into the corner. That's a shot for 3, and that is good for Allie. Allie makes it a 4-point ball game. Ohio Impact 16, OSP Widman 12. In the early part of the second half, that is Maya. Maya at the foul line, and it was knocked out of her hand, and it comes back to Selena. Back to Selena. Pass up a 3-point opportunity. She's going to drive it into the paint. Pass it outside, and there with a shot is up and no good. And that was number 34, Laney, who had it. But it's Impact's ball off of that air ball. Avery. Avery spins. Pass it to Izzy. Over it comes to Kiana. Back up top to Avery. Avery onto the left. That is Allie. Allie. Passing it to the elbow. That is Taylor. Taylor. And that foul on Maya. That'll be the first team foul this second half for either side. That foul on Maya, wearing number 10. Inside it comes to Allie, and she quickly gives it back to Avery. Avery over to Kiana on the right. Kiana with a pass, and nope, they're going to say Kiana traveled with it. As soon as she got that pass, she took a couple of steps before she passed it off, and they caught her with it, so it goes back to OSP Widman, who trails by 4. And that's an offensive foul. And that foul on Maya. So that's the second team foul on OSP Widman this half. And it comes back to to Ohio Impact. That's Avery. And there's a pass. It's going to be taken away by OSP. Pushing it back down the other end. That's Abigail. Abigail passes it off. There's a 3-point look. That's up. That's no good. Maya's trying to chase it down, and she can, and she does. And it's passed over to Laney. Laney on the baseline. Laney tied up. That'll be a foul on Allie. Ohio Impact's first team foul, this half. And a couple of subs made there for OSP Widman. Inbounds pass. Very quickly to Reese. That's up. That's no good for 3. There to take it away. What a nice play there by Peyton to clean it up for OSP Widman. Took it away from an Impact player and make it 16-14 Widman. There's a steal by Reese. Reese driving it to the other end, and she's fouled on her way up by Kiana. And so Reese will be stepping up to the charity stripe with an opportunity to tie this ball game. Reese with 2 so far. The opportunity to add to that total. First shot up, rims out, no good. Reese with a second shot, and that one caroms away, no good. Kiana had it, then she lost it out of bounds, so it will remain OSP Widman ball. On the inbounds. Comes in to Selena. Selena, bounce pass into the corner. Driving it baseline. Putting it up. That is no good. Rebounded by Kenzie. That was Gretchen on the shot. And Kenzie gathered it up. Pass up ahead. And there's a travel. That's going to be a travel, I do believe, on Izzy. So, Reese has it. Widman down 2. Over it comes to Selena. Inside it comes, and Reese not able to get it, and it's going to be knocked away from Reese. They're going to say off of impact, so OSP Widman keeps possession. Gretchen to inbound. Couple of substitutions to be made here. 13 and 5 come back in for OSP Impact. 13 Kate, 5 Jackson. There's a shot that's up and that's no good, and that's taken by Impact. That is Kate. Kate's got it. Kate playing the point, bring the ball down the floor. She's met by Reese. Over to the right and Jackson. And they're going to say that Jackson stepped out of bounds. As Lauren L. checks in for OSP Widman. And who's going to check out? That will be Maya. Gretchen up at the top, guarded there by Kenzie. On the right. That is Peyton. Peyton to drive it baseline, put it up, and no good. Rebounded by Taylor. Impact has it now. Back down the floor with the Impact. Pushing it down. That is Kate. Kate with it. Kate trying to pass it, and she gets fouled. That'll be the third team foul on OSP Widman. That'll be a foul on number 22, Lauren L. With Impact clinging to this 2-point lead. 16-14 here in the second half of the 7th grade consolation game here at the Celtic Classic. There's a shot from three-point land. That is up, and that's no good. Taken there on the offensive side, and nice cleanup there by Taylor to put it up and in. 18-14, Impact with a 4-point advantage. That's Reese. Reese playing the point with some fancy dribbling. Passes it off to Lauren. And that's in traffic and taken away by Impact. Pushing it up the floor. That is coming up. That is Jackson with it. Jackson, bounce pass over to Kiana, who's able to save it from going out of bounds. Kiana trapped in the corner there and able to get it out of there. And that's Jackson with it. Bounce pass into the paint. And they're going to reset everything. Boy, they had a golden opportunity there. They just weren't able to do anything with it because of some problems handling the ball. There is a shot that is missed. That's missed by Kenzie. And it's taken back and put up and in. Nice job by Taylor on the offensive side and the defensive side. 20-14. Reese with a long three-pointer. No good. And it's rebounded by Jackson. Into the corner. It goes back to Widman. OSP has it. That is Reese with it. Into the paint she goes, and she is fouled. That's the third team foul on the Impact. That was Kenzie on the foul. And they're going to say that Reese was in the act of shooting, so to the line she will go, where she is 0 of 2 so far this afternoon. Reese with the first shot. Knocks that one down. 20-15 is the score. Checking back into the ball game for Widman, Olivia. Checking out will be Gretchen. Reese, 1 for 3 this afternoon at the line with a shot. That is short and tracked down by Kiana. So that's the fourth team foul. That one was on number 5, Abigail. That is their fourth team foul so far this half. On the other side, that is Jackson pulling up, and that is no good. It's going to go over the backboard. That should be out of bounds. And it is out of bounds, and so it's going to go back to Widman, who trails by 5. Bring the ball up the floor. That is Olivia passing it off to Reese. Reese having it taken away. That's a steal by Kenzie. I'm sorry, that's Kate. And into the paint. That's a shot. That's up and swish. 2 more for Taylor. She has got 9 with a score. Impact 22. Widman 15. Into the corner and Reese. Reese drives it. Puts it up. That is no good. And it's rebounded by the Impact. Up ahead. That's Kiana. Kiana with a clear path to the bucket. Kiana laying it up and missing on the lay-in. And Kiana gets it back and then she saves it. But it ends up in a Widman player's hand. That is Lauren who has it. Lauren dribbling the ball up. She's met by Jackson. Passes it on. That's over to Peyton. There's a long three-point attempt. That is up, and that's an air ball. And that will go back to the Impact. And that's the 5th team foul on Widman. Substitutions all around for both teams. We're at 7:52 to go here in the second half. That's Izzy with it. Passing it off to Allie. Back up top to Avery. On to the left, three-point attempt, no good. And it is Selena who ends up with it. Pushing it forward, pushing it down the court, putting it up and getting fouled on her way is Lauren. And that foul on Kate, that's the fourth impact foul. And so Lauren will have a chance to go to the line and cut into this impact lead for Widman. Lauren with no points yet has a chance to change that. First shot for Lauren. Nothing but the bottom of the net. 22-16 now, with Lauren's second free throw forthcoming. Lauren's second shot is up, and that one misses. Rebounded by Peyton. Peyton driving a baseline, passing it, putting it up, and no good was Laney. Tie up. Nope, they're going to say a foul. That foul will be on Peyton. That is the sixth team foul for Widman. So one more, and there will be a 1-on-1 forthcoming. That one is taken away by Widman. Widman on the steal. That is Peyton pushing the ball up the floor. Peyton with 8 points so far. Peyton passing it, nice pass inside. That one no good, and that is Laney cleaning it up, and the ball gets stuck up there. And that's a tough one. How's this one going to end up? And that will count as a jump ball. All right, that will count as a jump ball. So the possession arrow will favor the impact. There is no bucket there. That's a first. For me, at least. Usually the ball will kind of get caught up in between the rim and the net. And that is always a jump ball situation as it's rebounded by the impact on the offensive side. And chasing it down. Very nice hustle there by Selena to get that one for Widman. Back comes Widman on offense. That is Laney. Laney pushing it down. Laney pulling up, and Laney pulling up a little bit too much, dragging that foot and traveling with it. And back comes into the game Mia for OSP Widman. And she will check in for Laney. Back on the impact on offense. That's Kenzie. Kenzie with a shot. That is up. That is no good. That is taken by OSP Widman. Widman pushing it back down to Selena. Selena one-on-one. Selena with a nice move in the paint. Not able to finish, though. And back comes Impact on offense now. Impact, that is Avery. Avery pushing it down. Avery with a pass over to Izzy. Izzy puts it up and in. Izzy with her first two of the ball game. 24-16 is the score. And Widman has some ground to make up and about 6 minutes to do it in. Up at the foul line, that is Mia. Mia on the shot is fouled. That foul by Allie. That is the fifth team foul on Ohio Impact. So Mia will step up to the line with a chance to cut into this Impact lead. Right now, Impact leads at 24-16. Mia's first shot, no good. As Lauren checks back in for Widman. And sitting will be the other Lauren. Mia's second shot misses, and that will go back to Impact as it didn't touch the rim. That is Impact's ball. So 24-16 remains the score. We're at 5:50 and counting here in the second half. This 7th grade girls consolation game. There's a quick shot on the other end. That's up. That's no good. That's rebounded by Widman. Widman on the rebound. They're pushing it back down the floor. That is Peyton who has it. Peyton pushing it down. Peyton's going to take it coast to coast. Lay it up. That's no good. Rebounded by Lauren. That's up. That's no good. And there's a scramble for that loose ball. Ohio Impact ends up with it. That's Allie. Allie pushing it down now on the right-hand side. Allie's going to take it coast to coast herself, and she's going to get fouled on her way. Nope, she's going to be called for a travel. So Allie gets called for a travel. I thought they were going to get a foul on Widman, but no foul. It's a travel on Allie, and so Widman ends up with it. 24-16 the score. That is Olivia. Passing it over and losing it. That is Peyton who had it. Just lost control of it and out of bounds. So it's Impact's ball once again. Timeout called on the floor. Impact wants to talk things over. So with 5:11 to go and the score 24-16, we'll go ahead and take a timeout with them right here on GBA TV. It'll be Impact to inbound this ball. They're the ones who called that timeout. We are at 5:11 to go here in the second half. They lead Widman through the Impact 24-16. There's a steal, stolen by Widman. Pushing the ball to the other end, that's Peyton. Peyton in the paint, and Peyton puts it up, and Peyton traveled. She had the ball knocked away from her, regained possession, but didn't dribble with it, and because of that, they have to call it travel. That's a tough situation to be in for Peyton, but she is indeed charged with that traveling violation, and so OSP Widman gives it back to Impact. And there's a quick shot from the elbow. That's up, that's no good. That's rebounded by Kiana. And that'll be a foul on Peyton, and that is the 7th team foul on OSP Widman, and that's a 1-and-1. That foul on Peyton for Widman. That'll put Kiana at the line where she's 1 of 2 on the day. Kiana at the line. First shot up, back rim. Kiana gets her own rebound, and it's partially blocked away from her off the second opportunity. So pushing it down the floor, that is Reese. Reese with it, and there's a loose ball. And that's a foul on Maya. That's the 8th team foul on OSP Widman. And that'll put a shooter back on the line for another 1-and-1 for the Impact. It'll be Kiana once again. Kiana 1 for 3 on the afternoon from the charity stripe. That shot misses. 1 for 4 now for Kiana. Widman grabs the rebound. Back they come on offense. That is Abigail with it, and she gets tied up. That'll be a foul on Kiana. That is the 6th team foul on Ohio Impact, so 1 more, and it'll be Widman in the bonus. Pass inside to Reese. That's a 3-point shot. That's up, and it caroms out. Rebounded by Laney. Laney puts it back up. That's no good. And Laney loses it out of bounds. Nope, they're going to say it was off of Impact. So the score remains 24-16. 4.5 to go here in this second half. Over it comes to Selena. Selena drives it into the paint, puts it up and in. Nice bank shot by Selena. Nice drive as well. It's Ohio Impact 24, OSP Widman 18. And that's Taylor giving it off to Kiana. There's a 3-point attempt. That is up and good. Jackson for 3, her first points of the ball game. And that makes it Ohio Impact 27, OSP Widman 18. Reese on the other end. And Reese is going to be called for a travel. She kind of got tied up there, and she had nowhere to go with it, and she moved her pivot foot. So with that being the case, it's going to come back to the Impact, who lead it by 27. Not by 27, but they have 27 points. They lead it by 9. There's a shot from three-point land. Kiana there to clean it up, and Kiana tried to put it back up, got fouled on her way up. That's the 9th team foul on OSP Widman, but Kiana was in the act of shooting, so she's going to get a full 2-shot opportunity here. Chance to put her team up by double digits. Kiana's first shot misses, no good. Kiana having problems at the line. She is 1 out of 5. That's 20%. Kiana's second shot. That one goes in. Nothing but the bottom of the net for Kiana. And that does indeed put her team up by 10. It is 28-18. We're at 3 minutes, 40 seconds to go. Reese with a quick three-pointer. That one's no good. That is rebounded by Kenzie. And Kenzie's got it for the Impact. And over it comes. And they've got to get it past half court, and they do. There's a tie-up. And it will go back to OSP Widman off of that jump ball. Reese. Here comes Delaney. That foul on Avery. And that is the 7th team foul on the Impact. So it should be OSP Widman shooting a 1-and-1. With 3:14 to go in this game, it's 28-18. Impact on top by 10. Laney at the foul line where she hasn't been yet today. First shot is up, and she puts it in there. So Laney cuts the Impact lead to single digits. It's 28-19. Second shot up for Laney. And that's nothing but the bottom of the net. So Laney goes 2 for 2. That trip to the line. 2 big free throws there for Widman. It's 28-20. Timeout on the floor. We'll go ahead and take it with him with 3:14 to go. You're watching it right here on GBA TV. Back to the game here at Dublin Jerome High School, court number 1, 28-20 the score. Impact leading OSP Widman in this 7th grade consolation game. That's Avery with it. And it's knocked out of bounds. It goes off, actually, the Ohio Impact. So it goes back to OSP Widman. 2:54 to play. There's a drive by Reese who floats it. That's no good. Offensive rebound by Reese. Boy, she's all over the place, but she's not able to put the ball in there that time. And Impact has it back. Boy, I'll tell you what, Kiana's wide open underneath the basket, and they put it up, and that's no good. Kiana trying to track down that rebound, not able to because it was knocked out of bounds by OSP Widman. So it remains at this end of the floor. Kate playing the point. Guarded by Selena. Kate gives it off. That is Kenzie. Back to Kate. That's up no good for 3. And that's rebounded by Avery. So offensive board, big offensive board there for the Impact. That comes over to Kenzie. Back up top to Avery, who floats it up and in. 30-20. It's another double-digit advantage for the Ohio Impact. We're under 2 minutes to play, and there's a turnover by Widman at 1:59 in this consolation game. Inbounds. And over it comes to Taylor. Back underneath the hoop to Avery. That's up no good. And out of bounds, and it's going to go back to Widman now. That's Reese, who tries to pass it inside. Dangerous pass. Laney does end up with it. She puts it up, and that's no good. Rebounded by Taylor. And it's going to be the impact on the other end. Avery wide open underneath the hoop. She banks it in there. Avery may have just put the nail in the coffin there for the impact. It's 32-20, and we're just under a minute and a half to play. Reese on the other end for OSP Widman. That's a steal. That's stolen away by the impact. Avery pushing it to the other end. Avery up and no good. There to clean it up. That's no good. And that is Kate. And it's 32-20. We're at 1:09 to go. And all kinds of subs on both sides. It's going to be white ball. Impact called for a travel. And for Widman, that is Olivia with control. Passes it over to Selena. Selena with a drive to the bucket. Nice move by her, just not able to put it in. And it's the impact with it once again, and it's knocked out of bounds. That was knocked out of bounds by Laney, and it will remain impact ball. We're at 50 seconds to play. That is Izzy. Over to Jackson. Jackson, pass it over to Taylor. Good weave here. Izzy. That foul on Laney, and that is the 10th, so it should be 2 free throws. That's the 10th team foul on Widman. First shot up, and no good. This is Izzy at the line, by the way. .34 seconds left as Izzy drains the second free throw, 33-20. And mass substitutions here for OSP Widman. And we're at 30 seconds to go. That is Maya driving the ball up the floor for Widman. Maya passes it over to Gretchen. Gretchen driving. Gretchen putting it up. That's no good. That's rebounded by the impact. Jackson had it and lost it, and now it's impact's ball. And timeout is called by the impact. And we're at 11 seconds to go, and I think they did that just to avoid the travel, so that way they can maybe dribble this ball out with the score 33-20. We'll be back to wrap this one up right here at Dublin Jerome High School on GBA TV. Back to game action here. Impact going to try to dribble this ball out. We're at 3 seconds, 2 seconds, 1 second, and that will do it. That will be the final score, 33-20. Ohio Impact takes this consolation game over OSP Widman, and you've been watching it right here on GBA TV. Coming up next, Tom Strasser to take things over. Goodbye, everybody.